Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to VidaneTV. 20 years is a very long time. You figure today we are 27 days into the year 2026. Back in 2006, the summer of 2006, Vidane Racing was born as a high school project. And here we are today, 20 years later, as a television, a streaming production company and all sorts of cool stuff. 20 years of sim racing for myself, and I am, as always, Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Very, very special night for myself and Wes Hogue, who we'll be talking to later on tonight, and everybody here at VidaneTV and everybody that's been a part of Vidane Racing over the past 20 years. We're here at the World Center of Racing, the virtual World Center of Racing down at Daytona International Speedway, and this 20th anniversary event is very special. We're going to be at the 2007 version of the Daytona International Speedway, and we're running the 87 cars. Anybody that knows us from back in the day, we used to run the Aero 88 cars, or the Aero Wars cars, back with NASCAR Racing 2003 season, so this is going to be a whole lot of fun. These things are a whole lot of car to handle, and we've got some of the best super speedway racers to race here this evening. And speaking of some of the best, we've got some of the best on the mic as well, and longtime VidaneTV analyst and commentary guy, Ashton Riki, jumping back in. It's not the first time you've been in the booth this year. You and I have been in the booth together this year, but it's one of the first real big race weekends. This is a lot of fun. 20 years in the making. Ashton, thank you for being here, man.
Yeah, and I appreciate the invite. Very special night for yourself, and this, I got to say that I joined, a couple of years back just on a whim. I didn't make one of the races, so you invited me up to the booth, and everything became a story from that point on. We've done some great races together, and tonight's not going to be any different. These cars, this is the first time I'm announcing this style of race car. Not the first time I'm at the virtual Daytona Speedway, but it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of cars out on pit road getting ready to make that outlap, follow the pace car out onto the racetrack, and a great field of cars. They were setting some really fast times in practice. I can just imagine what the last couple laps is going to look like at the end of this race.
Absolutely. You can see the beautiful sunset off in the distance there in turn 4. Nighttime racing at its finest here on VidaneTV. And we're going to try and talk to all the folks throughout the field here. Speaking of the field, as they get ready to roll off of pit road, we're going to take a look at that starting lineup. How about Cody Neagles up front on the pole? Let me just double check that, because we've had some issues with the timing and scoring before. But there you can see the front Michael Ziegler there in second. Everything looking like it's in good shape. Jeff Merck there in the P3 position, and just some great paint schemes here. Matt Yost in the 70 and P4. And Ashton, you and I were kind of talking back and forth. There's a lot of really cool paint schemes here. There's James Pileski rolling off P6, Matthew Baker P5 in the number 5 car. A lot of cool paint schemes throughout the field here. A lot of throwbacks, as it were. This is going to be fun to watch, fun to call, and fun to try and keep up with.
Yeah, absolutely. We were going through the list here earlier with the spotter's guide, and you saw already a couple of them pop by in the Valvoline car right up there on your screen. The Chick Hicks, the 95 on the outside. You saw Earnhardt Sr.'s Olympics paint scheme from 1996. Again, we're getting into the Winter Olympics are starting here up next week, so kind of fitting. You see the Skoll number 33. They're all paint schemes that, if you were around back in the day to watch those cars go around the racetrack, you're watching tonight on a virtual racetrack, and those same paint schemes are going around the exact same track. So it's really cool to see the guys bring back those vintage and throwback schemes and be able to keep them living. I don't think when you think about it, when you put a car together, you don't think 20 years, 30 years down the road that paint scheme will come back around and be on the racetrack again. But nonetheless, they've made them famous in the NASCAR world, and they're being reused in the virtual world.
And the nostalgia of it, too, throwing back 20 years to the beginning of Dane racing and the cars that we started racing way back in the day, and seeing all of these old-fashioned NASCAR paint schemes. Not even going to be able to get through the entire 40-car field because we are coming to the green. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. 80 laps on the docket. 20 years in the making. The 20th anniversary of Vidane Racing Super Speedway Racing Series. The 200-lapper, or the 200-miler, 80-lapper, the Vidane 200 is green.
Green, and they're still side by side going down into turn one. You're going to see a lot of that all night long. Both lanes are going to be very active, and you're going to see these guys shuffling around trying to find who they're going to work with early on in this race. It's a game of patience. It's a game of being there at the end whenever it comes down to these super speedways, whether it be Talladega or Daytona. You're going to see a lot of guys shuffling around. You're going to see some three wide, I'm sure, at some point during this race, but right now these guys just trying to find their spots and get settled in. We were talking earlier, Paul, I think the window for fuel is going to be anywhere between 20 and 25, so they're quick stints when it comes to pit stops, but it's also going to look like 3 to 4 pit stops on pit roads, so a lot of strategy going into play and to position yourself to be able to get down to pit road safely without getting into any of the possible calamity that can occur when trying to get on pit road on a super speedway.
Yeah, a lot goes into the super speedway races. Jeff Merck in the Liberty Racing number 60 car. He's been racing with the Liberty Racing Series for quite a long time, since its inception, I believe. There's a trailer park dude in the 01 car. You got to follow him on TikTok if you don't already. I tell you, and it's not going to be the only time I tell you here tonight. Definitely look him up on the TikTok. He's got a lot of sim racing content up there, and it's relatively hilarious. I don't know why I lost the word hilarious there. We're only on lap 2 or 3.
Humorous, hilarious. You were just trying to mix the words together. It's all part of it. We got a new fast time already. Taylor Laskowski.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
It's running. He sets the fast time early on in this one. Again, they're in the draft right now, so that's going to that you're going to see change quite often as the night goes on until these guys get settled in. The 5 up the track, slides up into the wall. He's trying to use the extreme high line, the Kyle Larson line, as I would call it, and just got it up into the marbles a little bit too much there early on. Nothing to be worried about. He'll catch that draft back. Oh, they're sideways on the front row. I don't know how they've somewhat saved it. There's guys
still
going
car
everywhere,
parts going all over.
Oh,
no! Oh, we're wrecking. My goodness. We had it, then we didn't have it no more. That's going to bring out the caution. My goodness, we're going to have to take a couple of looks at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay on that one, because my, oh my, that was
I don't even know where to start. I mean, I'd start going into the tri-oval there, but I don't know which car to follow. There was so many cars sideways at one point that that was a mess, but I mean, it is super speedway racing. There's going to be some pushing and shoving, and I think this was just a case of possibly a late block very early on for going for blocks, but you're going to see the front car right now already a little squirrely. I think he slides up the track, opens the door on the bottom. That bottom line gets a really good run, and that door is just not there to be closed anymore. I can't believe how long those two hung on to this before the real mayhem started.
There's like 4 or 5 wrecks in the top 10 that just didn't complete. They just didn't finish.
It's here that it starts.
Here comes the mayhem. Try
right
to rejoin. There. Yep, there's a big shot there from the 43. Craziness. The trailer park dude gets on by. Man, just big time junk for a lot of these cars up in the top 10, and that's gonna sort things out, or resort the running order as we get timing and scoring to get out of its own way. So Jeff Burke still has the lead, but that's going to move Wes Hogue up into second place. Robert DuPont, the second, going to be in third. Cody Neagles, the pole sitter, going to roll off, or restart rather. P4. Alec Karen, one of the Vidane Racing originals, going to roll off P5. Matthew Baker, Kevin West, the trailer park dude in that 01 car, going to restart P7. Michael Ziegler going to roll off P8. James Pileski and James Muir going to roll off in the top 10. As lights are still on the pace car to get through the field. Matt Yost back in the 11th spot, it looks like. And everybody's starting to get themselves lined up. You see Adam Kolakowski in the 45 car. Love that Bandit paint scheme. The 99 car, Alex Giffen. I wonder if he's a Butterbean fan, because he's rocking the Waffle House paint scheme. And you guys don't have Waffle House in Canada. Have you been to a Waffle House up here?
So we have one. Well, I shouldn't say we, because I'm now on the East Coast, or I'm on the Atlantic Coast, but in the East Coast. But in Ontario, we had one in Dundas, and I mean, it had been there for decades. But let me tell you, I know they're called the Waffle House, but their pancakes were to die for. I'll never forget that, and every time we go back home, I always think to myself, I got to get to the Waffle House, because we don't have one here, but we've got the one there. And I get so busy eating poutine and everything else that I never seem to get there. But I have had the Waffle House a couple times.
Yeah, next time you're down here, got to get yourself a chocolate peanut butter pancake. Oh man, are they good? They do a good job there at the Waffle House. But I digress. Racing action here. You saw everybody, the entire field, come down pit road a second time to top off. We had to double check with Taylor Lasowski early on before we came on the air. These guys do run the 60% fuel cell, so the pit window is anywhere between 20 and 25 laps, depending on how many caution laps and how well you're able to draft and pull up in front of everybody in front of you. So with an 80-lap feature, we're going to come down pit road a handful of times. We did get an extra set of tires, so there's 3 sets of tires down on pit road that these drivers are going to be able to use throughout the evening here tonight, and it's going to be busy. We talked about it a little bit at the stop of this one. You got to make sure you're good at the drafting and the getting around the racetrack and driving the car, but man, oh man, with all that practice, you see some issues for Hogue in the 38 car getting down on the outside. We know he's on VR, so he might have some VR issues there. Like he was able to grab a gear and get going again. But it's one of those deals where you have to throw a lot of strategy into it, and you have to make sure that you practice that entry to pit road. We might even see some guys come down this time again just to top those tanks off.
Yeah, especially after just watching the, I don't know if you caught any of the 24-hour of Daytona, or the Daytona 24-hour, however you want to say it. They had the 6-hour, I believe, delay because of fog, and that strategy I had never seen before. I know those guys are 24 hours of strategizing constantly, but in that 6 hours, there was guys coming down like clockwork every 10, 15 minutes just to top up the fuel, so that in case they went green, they were at the top of their tank. So it transfers to this. It's such a short stint with the smaller tank that they have. Every time you can top up, every time you get the opportunity to top up, they're going to try and put as much fuel in these things as possible. Tires, on the other hand, I don't think you would have seen any guys take tires this early on. I think that those are going to be saved. They'll save at least one set in case of a green-white checkered for sure. But fuel is going to be something to talk about, especially if they have to only a 20 to 25 lap window to get as many positions as possible, especially if we do get a green flag run.
Absolutely. You can see we're lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. Lights off the iRacing pace car. We are getting ready to rip once again. Going to be 73 laps to go here once we take that green flag. And we are live all over the heckin' internet. We're trying to take over, as it were, here at VidaneTV. We're on the YouTube. We're on the Facebook. We're on Twitch. I think we might be on TikTok. Not 100% sure, but we do have the TikTok and the Instagram. So grab us the likes, the shares, the subscribes, all that good stuff. Let your friends and family know you're watching yourself some iRacing action here on a Tuesday night. We've got a bunch of racing action throughout the week. We're going to be running modifieds at Thompson tomorrow night for the NEP All-Star race tomorrow night, and then we're running right back here at Daytona, but the road course with the trucks on Thursday. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. And then the Oil Boys Late Model I National Series coming back next Tuesday night for their championship race right here on VidaneTV. We're going to be covering next week's Liberty Racing race as well. little bit of two-for action going on next Tuesday night. Oh, surprise, bet you didn't know that. Getting ready to take that green flag. Pace car going down to the safety of pit road one more time. Here we go. Barney in the flag stand letting them know it's time to go. Green flag drops here at Daytona.
Great start for those two on the inside there. They really got out to the jump. The outside line kind of seemed to have fallen apart, and everybody seems to try and get down to the bottom line. Left the 5 up on the top side hanging. He's able to get down and find an opening, but really quick movement, Paul. Look at the whole front part of that pack went single file really quickly compared to that opening restart where we saw at least 2 lanes, but we're a few cars back before we start seeing 2 wide. You see on the screen now, beautiful number 8 paint scheme of Brian Bliss. That there is a VidaneTV, the 20th anniversary paint scheme that he threw together there for us here tonight. That paint scheme is sharp. It's got a little bit of a retro feel to it with a little bit of a modern look. So really cool. A big thank you to Brian Bliss for throwing that together. Again, you were telling me earlier, he is one of the OGs, one of the ones that started off in year 1. So I guess this is technically his anniversary of 20 years racing at the same time with VidaneTV.
Yeah, man, I've been racing with Brian since literally 2004, 2005, I think, is when we started the original Cutting Edge Motorsports. He and I were teammates, and we ripped around in the Vidane Racing Super Speedway leads, full throttle sim racing. I know those guys race on Tuesday nights. I think they even took tonight off to check out our stuff here this weekend. So appreciate those guys. Shout out to HB Man and all those cats we used to race with weekly. Still got to get over there and maybe plug the wheel up and run some of those races. But great to see Bliss running up in the top 10. He's right behind Wesley Hogue, too. Saw him have a little off track there early on. Look at that, 202, 203, 204. It just keeps rising. Look how quick these guys are going down the back straight.
Imagine doing those kind of speeds in real life in this age of a car. So take these cars and make them real life and see if we can do 210 miles per hour going into a corner. I am not going to attempt it.
I'm not even going to attempt it in the sim car. My goodness. They are ripping around this place like it's nobody's business. Let's see if we can get it on board. I mean, you can see, this is the 2007 version of Daytona, so you can see just how bumpy it is. It got paved, I believe, in 2008 or 2009, so they had that nice smooth surface, but very, very difficult to run here, and you'll see right there. Oh, nope, just kidding. That's turn 2. But in that same spot up here in turn number 4, there's a massive divot. There's a hole right in the bottom, in the racing groove, down on the bottom side of the racetrack, and you'll see a lot of these guys, even the guys down on the bottom, they run up just a little bit, about a half car width. You actually saw the Waffle House 99 bottom out right there where that hole in the track was. So that's something that these guys really have to keep in mind. These 87 cars, these are basically the full body stock cars back when race cars were race cars. They are a lot to handle, especially here at these tracks. But man, these guys are doing this super speedway racing adjustments. These guys are putting on a hell of a show here for us. Still early on, still very reserved. Wes Hogue taking a peek underneath that 99 car. And you mentioned these guys are pretty much single file here, giving each other a lot of room, just trying to learn how these cars drive. You see the 8 car of Bliss going to try and follow through in the 38 car as well. And just taking through the field, 40 cars here to start off the night here. Massive field here tonight.
It's a great looking field too, and we made mention earlier about all the different paint schemes and the throwbacks and the new and the modern, and so everybody adding their own little twist to it, and it brings back, like you said, the old, when race cars were race cars, when you could take a car from off the road and you could you could relate to it pulling into the parking lot, and you see a lot of that this day and age with our short tracks, all your local tracks. Anybody that's watching your local tracks, when you go down and you watch those mini stocks run, a lot of it's your 4-cylinder cars you're getting from the junkyard, and that's how racing started. That's what racing was all about back in the day, was the manufacturers and trying to make the fastest car from a road car, from a street car that they had already produced, and just tried to put it on the racetrack to make it a little quicker. So it's cool to see these cars out on such a nostalgic track at the same time.
100%, and one of the cars I was really looking forward to taking a shot at and talking about, unfortunately not out on the racetrack anymore. Had to pull into the garage area 5 or 6 laps ago was Garland Meadows, another one of the VidaneTV or Vidane Racing originals, and a good buddy of mine, biggest supporter here of VidaneTV, and myself personally, one of my best friends that I've met in the sim racing world. Is Garland Meadows. Unfortunately, off the track right now. Looks like he might actually be spotting for Brian Bliss right now. Still hanging out, so we'll see if we can grab a word with Garland here. Well, we've got a little action, a little single file action here. Why not see if we can't talk to the man there in that 52 car? Garland, it's Paul up in the booth, brother. How we feeling?
Oh, it's not going too bad down here, you know, just doing my thing out here, trying to stay in the back and not get in a bunch of mess.
Saw that you were a couple laps down, still down on pit road. Or are we going to be able to get that thing back out there, or what's the deal there?
Oh, yeah, we're back here in the back just running like hell.
The 52 car doing well, timing and scoring, telling me he was out of the race. We're going to let him go back to his team channel and let him get back to work under green flag conditions. But getting it done, and we'll see if we can take a look at that 52 car momentarily, because he gave me a sneak preview of that paint scheme just a couple of days ago, and it was pretty badass. He actually told me tonight that a fella from work painted that up for him, and going to go out on a limb and say may very well have been Mr. Troy over there in the YouTube chat. Appreciate the subscribe in the chats earlier. And that's what I was talking about earlier, live all over the place. So let us know where you're watching from, who you're pulling for, and who you think's going to win this thing. We've got a lot of pit stops still left to go here, a lot of laps, 65 laps to go, and keep in mind 20 to 30 laps, or 20 to 25 laps rather, is our pit window here at the Daytona International Speedway, because these guys are only running about 60% of a fuel tank. So a lot of strategies getting into this one, and a lot of different things that could go on.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're getting really close to that first fuel window. They came down at around lap 78, I believe it was. So, you know, we're already about 12 laps in. They're going to, or 12 or 13 laps in. They're going to start looking and starting to line themselves up to get down pit road. If it is under green, you're going to see that that challenge. We talked about these cars being the OG cars of racing. It comes down right to the brakes. The tires, the brakes, the handling of the car in general. So when you start talking about coming off that turn 4 and trying to dip down onto the apron and be able to get that car woed up to get down on pit road is when things could get a little bit scarier for the guys sitting in the cockpit. But for us, we're just going to be able to sit back and watch it and see who can make it on there clean without getting any penalties, because if this does go green from here on out, any sort of speeding on pit road or penalties could be the end of your night.
100%. And I was talking to Garland earlier on this week about this race in particular. I almost hooked up my own wheel, my own steering wheel, but it's been so long since I've hooked it up, I figured I'd just leave it over there, and we'll just save that for another day. Still watching Cody Neagles and Jeff Merck kind of hold on to the lead right now, and you can see everybody's single file. Brian Bliss back in the 8 car taking a peek down low. A little bit different style of super speedway racing here that we're seeing in the Liberty Racing Series, because we have so many pit stops. It's a lot of survival that kind of goes into it. You need to make sure that the car makes it 80 laps before you can try and win this thing. So a lot of times you'll see a lot of space given. They're just kind of drafting along single file. Once we get from 2 or 3 pit stops towards the end, you're going to see a lot of reverse pitting, a lot of guys putting in a little bit more strategy, and a lot of guys starting to race a lot harder, because at that point they're trying to hook up with their teammates or hook up with their buddies or whomever they've practiced with, or they might even try and hook up with another same manufacturer, as we have a caution on the speedway, and that's going to bring everybody back up together, and we'll see if we can take a peek at what went down. See if we can back this up on the old Youth House Racing Designs instant replay. For one reason or another, live TV happens every now and again. The old replay button doesn't want to work.
Rolling through here, but I don't see any kind of major incident yet.
Well, in any sense. Trust us when we say. There was somebody out there. But there you see, great shot of the leader, the number 6 car. Logging some laps. Let's see if we can't get a peek at cars a little bit further on back. That's why timing and scoring is doing its wonky thing here, because we're not seeing all the cars at once. That's kind of curious. But there's a 52 car. Great shot of that paint scheme. Kind of a synth wave. Getting a real. That's the first time I saw that close up. I don't think I've stuttered that hard on air in a long time. That was a good-looking race car. I like that.
Very well done, and it just goes to show that the amount of talent in the people. You know, I'm in the design industry myself, and the amount of time and effort some of these guys put into these paint schemes is really cool to see. I mean, they could easily go out there with just your basic stock paint scheme and drive around the racetrack, but these guys put a lot of time and effort into making these cars look as realistic as they possibly can. That is a sharp-looking machine. The fades and the numbers, it gives there's that vintage throwback with a modern twist. That's perfect for that car.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm looking at the chrome coloring on the wing. Well, now I'm looking at missed the pit box. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, good looking paint scheme for Garland Meadows there, and you heard him out there chugging along, and timing and scoring showing he's on the lead lap. So I'm not entirely sure why I'm only seeing a handful of cars, and you might not see your favorite driver up across the top. So we do apologize for that. But we'll do the best we can to figure out who's running where, and you can see everybody coming off pit road. Just like last time, though, Ashton, I got a feeling we're going to see a handful of these guys just come right back on down and top those fuel tanks off.
Absolutely. I was going to say that it was a busy pit road right off the bat, and I would not be surprised you see some of the guys staying down on the apron as long as possible. That might be a sign that they're just going to come right back around, stay on the lead lap, whether it's take another 2 tires and just top up the fuel, or whether they're just trying to stay down on the flat to keep the fuel tank as full as possible. Is another thing you might see this. 20 laps in, this is about their window. This was their first window if they had gone green right from the start. So these guys' strategies is pretty much back on to if we had gone green right from the start. You can essentially go back to your original strategy, and hopefully it plays out the way they're all hoping for. But 60 laps still to go at a super speedway with 30 plus cars on the racetrack. You're bound to see another caution. You made mention right before we went yellow. A lot of give and take right now, or not a lot of take right now. More or less a lot of give. A lot of guys giving space, giving room, allowing guys to make the moves that they want to make to find their teammates. Late in the race, you might not see that, but right now everything seems pretty calm out on the racetrack. Got a couple guys just pulling off pit road now. Just beat the pace car off pit road. They're gonna hustle their way around as it looks like the lights are off on the pace car. We're going to get the lucky dog going around the top side, and they're going to go 2 by 2. It's a long way around, Paul, but they are coming to green.
Indeed, they are, and we are going to see. We're going to try something here, and we got permission from this guy. To try some stuff here live on the air. This is Taylor. This is Paul up in the production trailer. You got a copy, brother?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, we're going to ride on board with you here for this restart, and what I'd like to have you do, man, I'd like you to have that talk button smashed. I want you to talk us through exactly what's going on through your windshield. Do you think you can do that for a brother?
I'll try. I think so.
All right, so we're gonna hook it up. We're mid backstretch right now, and this is on board with the 11 car, restarting P6. AC Westhogue teammate up in front of the 38 car, and I know this is going to jack up some of the team communication here a little bit, but we'll see what we can do here. But I want to have you walk us through this restart here.
Well, if you know our team, we don't communicate well, so it can't hurt us.
Well, no comment.
You guys see that run I made through the field there on that green there? I don't know if you guys are following, but I started 26th and I ended up, I think, 8th before that caution. So I was slowly picking them off.
Now, what goes into a strategy as you're picking them off, thinking about that strategy, thinking about moving up through the field as we're coming to the green, like all these different things you have to process? Talk us through it.
Something's going on up here. Somebody disappeared. we're moving all up a line here. So going green, going green. Yeah, I don't know what happened. The leader on the outside disappeared, so it gave everybody a black flag. So that was a little hectic there, but hey, that's part of racing.
What it's all about. It looks like it was a 93 of James Pileski that disappeared at a connection issue out of the race at this point. Taylor, we appreciate it. We're going to move you back down to the team channel, brother. Good luck.
Let's get a good move here. Ready? Hold on.
Oh, here we go. Talk us through it. Talk us through it.
Slingshot it to the lead here real quick. See what we can do. Oh, it feels good on these fresh rubbers. Man, it got a lot of grip here compared to last run. Try to follow my teammate, push him to the lead here. Swing out to the outside. See if we can maybe get a lap lead. See what we can do. He's got the run though.
And we're looking at the telemetry here with timing and scoring. 211, 212 miles an hour getting in the corners. Is that accurate, Taylor?
Oh, yeah. I'll see 207 right there. 210, 211, 212, 214. Yeah, we're all in the mail here on these fresh tires.
This 2007 Surface really acting like a cheese grater. Taylor, we appreciate it, man. We're going to check in with you here in about 20 laps or so, brother.
Sounds good.
How cool is that? How many other networks can you go and watch a super speedway race and talk to somebody under green, Ashton?
There's not too many out there, and I thought it was super cool the run that he got on the outside, and I was just so disappointed that they left him out hanging there, and nobody went with him on the outside. Him and Wes got a great run, and he did the right thing. He got Wes out there. Wes dove back down to the bottom to take the air off the nose of the 6, and tried to jump back up and pick up the airstream again, and help him back up to the front there, but it just didn't work out. You see both of them kind of toying with the outside now. It's still a line that can work, and I think they're just I think patience is kind of there. You heard him talk about coming from 26th all the way up to what he believed was 8th before the caution. Now he can kind of settle in. He's got himself back into track position. He's got Wes up there with him that can, if they want to work together, the option is there. He's not pushing it right now. Wes isn't pushing it on the outside. He's kind of using the side draft, just kind of hanging around there. He's not making things worse than they need to be, just keeping himself in position that if this does go green all the way, there's going to be a few more pit stops that they can usually strategize, whether it be take 2 tires or only take fuel and maybe give themselves the lead that way there. But both those drivers working really well together to get themselves up front. Still battling for the lead now. As you can see, the 11's going to go back down to the bottom side. He's really going to shake things up. He thought the top side wasn't working. I'm going to take the bottom side and try and make the move, as Wes is going to fall back almost into that 3 wide position there. Instead, the Valvoline car is going to move up to the top side and help Wes up to the front there. So a great battle of 5 right out front.
Little side-by-side they touch between the 6 and the 38 as they thunder on down the back straightaway. How about we throw a monkey wrench into this situation? That 6 car has to pit. He hasn't been down pit road in 21 laps. We know the window is 20 to 25 laps for fuel. I don't know if he's going to take tires. Looks like he may have taken 2 tires last time he was down on pit road, all the way back at lap number 6. So the current leader in that 6 car looks like he's going to drive on by that time by. And you saw earlier the 60 car was right on his back bumper. The 6 and the 60 working very well earlier on together. But now everybody trying to get down on the bottom side, leaving Hogue up on the high side. But just the experience behind the wheel of the 38 car. He's very similar to Dale Earnhardt, where he can see the air on the side, and he can see the air when people are talking trash too. So Hogue is trying to figure it out. He's doing awesome up on the high side. If he can get a little bit of help from a teammate or anybody else, he might be able to make a little magic happen up on that high side. But it's still early on in this one. 53 laps to go, and keep in mind, once again, that 6 car is going to have to come down pit road very, very soon.
Yeah, Paul, I was just about to bring that up again. If he does have to pit, it's a wonder that I wonder if the 11 and I believe it's the 128 right behind him know about that situation, being that close to his bumper. If he even gives the slightest of checkup coming off the corner to get down onto the apron, it could cause some problems. Again, as long as they're communicating to the 11 and the 128, this is the gap that can't be bridged is what I'm going to call this one, from real life racing to the sim racing. In real life racing, you can put your hand up and let the guy know, hey, I'm pitting next time by. You can kind of wave out the window, wave in the back window, put your hand up, try and let them know, or your spotters can move around and let them know. You don't have that advantage all the time in virtual racing. So the communication is sometimes a barrier, but you saw the 11 jump out of line there and kind of fall back behind Hogue, his teammate. I don't know whether he got into the wall or whether it was just a loss of momentum. He jumped out to the outside to get the pass, and the pass didn't work, and 38 kind of just seemed to slide up through the middle. But I have a feeling that was a situation where the 11 was strategizing to get back a little bit, maybe back to his teammate, if pit stops are going to be something that they're going to start talking about again soon.
Got to give a shout out to our boy Kyle Young as well, Dr. Race Chaser. Be sure to check him out on social media as well. Good buddy of mine, good friend of VidaneTV. You saw it about a lap and a half ago. For about a lap and a half, these guys, I heard it in Kyle's voice, 3 wide, and they held on to it. Being able to do that on this Daytona 2007 surface with these cars, remember, these are the old stock cars from the late 80s, 87, 88 era. They're a lot to drive through, and they're a lot to handle here with 50 laps to go.
Paul, I wasn't born when these cars used to race.
Ouch. Wow. Holy
Sorry, buddy.
Well, that's like the Facebook post I made earlier today. I've been sim racing longer than I have not been sim racing. Oh, trouble back. It looks like the Hardy's machine was up into the outside wall. Indeed it is. That's another Vidane Racing original. Jarrett Bolliard in the 97 car. Almost had it saved down in the grass. Going to tear it all up. We're still green. Tough break for the 97 car. Up back on the track. It looks like he's going to get it gathered back up. 49 laps to go, and trouble for Jarrett Bolliard, still staying green at this point. He knows his way around these super speedways, and he's got the championship belt to prove it. Won one of the Vidane Racing Super Speedways championship belts back in the day. I believe he won the one with the white strap. And we did that back in the day, and that's what these guys are racing for once again. Caution flag now going to fly on the speedway. Unrelated incident, it looks like. Might have a... trying to sift through and see for one reason or another. Well, let's see what we do. We'll do the backwards button. Cacao! All right, it didn't do what we needed it
to. Tough break for Bollier there. It looks like he just caught that tri-oval the wrong way, bounced off the wall, and did a great job of keeping it off of all the other cars. I will give him that. Again, we talk about this being the 87, 88 style car, and it does transfer to the handling of these cars. I've tried to drive them before. I tried them on a road course. Not a good idea. And they're a handful on just a short track. So at the speeds that they're going here, when you bounce off the wall like that, I give him full credit for keeping it off of all the other cars, because he was about mid-pack, and they could have caught a lot more cars, and then it almost slid back up the track, and he did a great job controlling the brake and the throttle and the steering, and kept it off from coming back across the racetrack.
And you can see everybody lined up behind the pace car now. Look who this is going to help out. That 6 car is on fumes. He's going to be able to come down pit road under caution with everybody else, because it's been about 12 laps since everybody else. That's about halfway through a run already. So big time high five to the crew up in the 6 camp making the calls there. And pit road's about to get busy.
It is, and this is going to take everybody, and I would not be surprised if we start seeing some tires being taken at this point now. You're halfway, just 8 laps away from halfway. If you had 3 sets of tires, you've got lots of sets left to take. If you haven't taken any yet, you might as well take one now. Get some fresh rubbers. We did talk when we were talking to the 11 earlier. He did say that he had already put on fresh rubbers, and he said it made such a big difference. So if anybody was listening to that, other spotters, other crews, they might be thinking the same thing now. You see some cars getting jacked up. They are taking tires this time around. Some guys are going fuel only for track position. They're already starting to get ready to come off pit road. The race off pit road looks like it's going to be the 01 who we have not seen up front yet. He was kind of lurking in that second pack. He looks like he just took fuel only, and he's going to be the first one off pit road.
One driver did elect to stay out, and it was that 8 car of Brian Bliss, and he is one of the Vidane Racing originals here, back of the original season. We're going to see if we can't dial up that 8 car. Paul, I'm going to try and talk to myself. Here we go. Brian, Paul, up in the broadcast booth, brother. You got a copy?
I got you.
Holy crap, man. Behind the wheel, the 8 car leading the Vidane Racing 20th anniversary race. Dude, this is pretty damn cool.
Yeah, how about that? I really figured more people would pit there, or less people would pit.
I got a feeling a lot more people are going to come back down and try and top off, so I don't want to give you your strategy just now, but man, it's cool to see you up front. Beautiful paint scheme on that number 8. Appreciate you out there, and appreciate you carrying the banner here for us at Vidane Racing, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys broadcasting.
Brian Bliss currently leading. Oh, we put him in the wrong channel. We're going to put him back up in the team channel that he's in, Cutting Edge Motorsports. Throwback. He and Garland Meadows working together this evening. And I was talking to Garland a little bit earlier this week. And Ashton, this may concern you. There may be, we don't want to say it's a Vidane Racing sanctioned series per se, because we kind of do the TV production and stuff now, but something Xlander Pro Series.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so what's the story behind Xlander, Paul? I know that was another one of those. I believe it was a series you guys started. I believe that's where the OG of all of this began.
Kind of, sort of, almost similar story, and I'm glad you brought it up because it all kind of stemmed from the same guy, from Steve Lavender, matter of fact. Yes, that's Steve Lavender, the guy that created the Traded Paints program here for iRacing. He's the godfather, and he is the creator of Vidane Racing. It was his high school project that he created and kind of morphed into the racing series and worked on in today. And Vidane and Xlander both came from the same list. And they both are nonsensical, made-up words. They don't mean anything. They don't stand for anything. They looked cool, they sounded cool, and they were very unique. So we went with them, and Xlander Designs is what I used to do all my websites and my production work and all that stuff under. So big into the sim racing community. We sponsored a lot of Coke Series drivers and a lot of the Drivers' World Championship and the DWC drivers way back before sim racing exploded onto primetime NBC. So just another one of the brands, another one of the color schemes that kind of throw back and just been a part of this 20-year history. And man, this is cool. Brian Bliss down on the bottom side. He's going to restart. He's got about 14, 15 laps or so of fuel in that thing, so he's got a little bit of time before he has to come down. The 01 of Kevin West, the trailer park dude, up on the outside. And Ashton, I told everybody before, make sure you follow us on social media. Make sure you go find Trailer Park Dude on TikTok, because I'm telling you, you're going to laugh your ass off.
Yeah, he's always a great fun time to watch. Anytime that he's live streaming, he's always a good time to watch. Great content, supporter of Vidane, and we support him. And that's another part of the virtual world that is always so much fun, is the cross-supporting of all the different streamers. Is always a good time. You make some really cool friends along the way, as we are back to green, as the 01 gets a great jump. The 6 pushed him out to the front, but that bottom line is very tight knit together. They're going to make that push back to the bottom side as they go into turn 1. They're 2x2, rows and rows on back, almost 3 wide there for a second, as the 11 jumps to the outside, with the 6 found a gap on the bottom. I was going to say we're 3 wide again. They are working that top side a lot earlier than what I thought they were going to, but it's Hogan on the outside pushing it's the opposite way around than the last restart. Now it's the 38 pushing the 11 to the front.
Yeah, Laskowski doing a great job leading, and the 11 and the 38, they've been working together forever in the Super Speedway Racing here with Liberty Racing League, and they work very, very well together, especially in the draft. So it's great to see those guys getting hooked up, and Laskowski up on the high side. Brian Bliss still hanging tough down on the bottom side in the 8 car as we ride on board, doing everything he can to kind of hold on. You can hear him just off the throttle just a little bit to kind of set that car up and get down in there, and it looks like we're going to kind of single file it out just a little bit. Wes Hogue still up on the high side. Nope, just kidding. We're going to go around and change it up just a bit.
Yeah, you'll hear them you'll hear them burp that throttle as they're 3 wide going into the corner there. Hogue decides it's best of it to just kind of back out and get back into the line there. You'll hear them burp the throttle coming in and out of the corners because they don't want to get the car too far away from that draft. If you get too far away, you get that slingshot and they get rolling on by you. So you'll hear them burp the throttle and bring that car right back to the front bumper of the guy behind them, just trying to maintain the speeds that they're maintaining. As you see the 11 go to the front. And Bliss up to the top side. He's led his laps. He's going to go and find himself a comfortable spot and keep himself in contention. Like you said, it's about being there at the end. So these guys shuffling, just trying to get that lap led.
100%. That 8 car going to try and drop back just a little bit. You may see him drop all the way to the tail end of this group lead pack just to try and save a little bit of fuel. Remember, he didn't come down last time by us. We're 3 wide for 3rd place. They get it sorted out. Nope, just kidding. Still 3 wide, almost 4 wide as we come to the stripe. Not even halfway. These guys, they're trying to put on a show here for us. 20 years in the making here, the Vidane Racing Super Speedway 20th anniversary as the 01 car takes a peek down low. Trailer Park dude Kevin West moves on into the lead. He's going to bring the 60 car of Merck with him, and then he's going to move back up top, try and pick up that 6 car. We talked about it. Cody Niegels was out there for 26 and a half laps before that last caution flag, came down under fumes, and was able to hold on to that track position, and holding on to it he is right now. Still on the podium, running P3 right now, but caution flag going to fly here with 42 laps to go.
Yeah, he went up there, and I thought he was going to get quite a bit of a run, quite a bit of damage to what looks to be that 17 car of I was going to say Darrell Waltrip, but I mean, let's be honest, that's a Darrell Waltrip paint scheme from 1995. So looks like the 17 got caught up in that when we were talking about paint schemes earlier. Looks like he's just an innocent bystander in this one.
Yeah, we'll take a peek at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay and see exactly what got that 17 car out of shape. That's Don Ashton in that 17 car.
You'd think that was a name I would have remembered. I believe he's late to the party. I believe there's some. Yeah, it's right there. So it's one of them.
The 95 car came off pit road. And it's been long enough. We can call this to Kevin LePage. He came up in front of the field. He's supposed to enter on the backstretch, so I'm not sure what went on there. But there you see it. 69 gets down on the inside, has a nice safe by. Oh, that was such a big hit for the 17 car. That is unfortunate. There you see Garland Meadow. Nope, just kidding. That's the 33 car. A handful of other drivers trying to come through. There's a tire that came off the 17.
Look at the work by the number 17 with missing a front tire, and he kept it up on the banking and found an opening to get himself onto the apron without taking anybody else out. That was very well done by the 17 to not cause anybody else any more damage than he had to. It looked like the Hardy car going through the grass there at the back also to avoid some calamity too on that replay. But nonetheless, they do have a fast repair, so if the 17 hasn't used his yet, he should be able to click that fast repair, get himself back out there, as pit road is getting busy again.
Indeed it is. Thundering on down, gonna get on down here with their winter pit products and get themselves some pit stops, some tires, some fuel, maybe some beverages of the adult kind. You can see the 8 car coming on down in between the 01, the 38 of Wes. Hogue is down there as well. We'll see if we can talk to him once they get off of pit road there. Quick stock for the 11 back there of Lasowski. We'll see who comes off first. It's going to be the 01 of Kevin West, the trailer park dude himself. And he's going to stay out. A handful of drivers actually stayed out, it looks like. I believe Jeff Merck, Niegels stayed out once again. So that 6 car rolling a dice. The 5 car there, I believe that's an old Country Time Lemonade throwback. Is that a Jeff Bodine number, I think, on that 5 car?
I believe you are correct on that one. Yep.
Nailed it. So you can see a handful of drivers staying out here, and let's see if we can get some more booth to car communications here. We'll talk to another one of these Liberty Racing guys, another one of these Vidane Racing guys as well. The trailer park dude. Hey, Kevin, this is Paul up in the booth. You got a copy, brother?
Loud and clear there, Paul. How you doing, bud?
Good, man, good. How are you? The car looks good. That old Pontiac running pretty good?
Oh, yeah, we done come from the back to the front about 3 times. Got a pretty good piece here tonight. I told these guys earlier in the Discord, I was going to dominate this race like Nancy Pelosi dominated the stock market for the last who knows how long.
And I'm not even mad. I'm just a little bit jealous, and I just want a piece of the pie, but that's neither here nor there. What do you got? We're getting ready to come to green here in 3 and 4. You think you got something to take home the trophy here tonight?
Yeah, we got kind of old tires here, so we're going to hang on to what we got here and save it for the end.
100%. Good luck tonight, brother. We'll see if we can talk to you later on.
All right, boys.
Trailer Park Dude 01. Kevin West going to restart up in the pole position. Came down 7 or 8 laps ago. Nope, he's going to restart P5, looks like. Timing and scoring doing its wonkiness with us, but I digress. Green flag once again racing here at the virtual Daytona International Speedway.
Great restart again. They're going to go single file really quickly. Like we saw earlier, the top 3, the top 4, top 5 single file right away. Again, I think it's just too early for anybody to really push the envelope at this point, but it's still some good racing going on. About 4 to 5 cars back. Looks for the 6th position. They're too wide there, but up front, the 6 is staying right there. We talked about it earlier, and you were saying how he rolled the dice. He rolled the dice early on in this race. He went 24 laps, and he led most of it. So I think he's on a different strategy than the rest of the field. But I do believe his strategy is working out for him. Again, it's about being there at the end, and he seems to be working it really well. There you see the 2 wide battle a little bit further on back, right behind Hogue, as Hogue makes his way up to the front behind the 01. If you look at that slingshot, we were talking about that earlier, Paul, about that car in front getting that little bit further ahead and being able to slingshot past him, and that's exactly what Hogue was looking to do, and a couple other cars followed him on through at the same time.
You can see the front 5 or so have kind of got it sorted out, single file, but everybody on back behind the Tesco Haviland. Is that a Dodge car? I don't think it's a Dodge. It might be a Buick. But in any sense, up to the outside wall for Hogue. Doesn't look like it's going to slow him down, and he scuffed the paint just a little bit. He's going to keep on going in P4. And as we say that, it looks like everybody's starting to get single file. They're a little bit squirrely back there in the second half of the top 10, but everybody still holding tough. You got at least 1, maybe 2 more pit stops here in this one. We haven't seen any green flag stops yet. But that's not to say that we won't, as we've seen some good racing all night long, some great racing even, as it's been rather reserved. And we kind of talked at the top of the show, and as we got on into the air, big sideways slide for Cody Neagles. They try to correct it. How about it for Taylor Lasowski? Does he hold on? He does. All right, now it's the Valvoline car trying to hold on. Doesn't make it up into the outside wall. Whew. Are we still green?
We are, but I don't think it'll
yellow.
be for long. Yeah. And I don't think, hate to say it, Paul, but I don't think that's the big one just yet.
Oh, man. There were about 4 wrecks in there that didn't complete until that 5th wreck finally completed.
I was going to say, no, there was 4 possible.
Four wrecks started, 1 finished. Let's see if we can take a look at this madness. I think it started with the 3rd place car, the Texaco car. That's right up in front of the Trailer Park Dude in the 01. We'll run it at slow motion here. Oh, up the 3rd. I called that wrong. 3rd place is up there in 3rd place.
Let's take a look at the 6th
Takes a peek
car.
down low. It looks like he might clip. He doesn't clip. Looks like he starts to lose. I might be completely wrong here.
Not sure where the first sideways is what started the whole domino effect.
I think it was here in 3 and 4. There's a big run for the 11. And there's the first sideways with the 6. He drifts up the track a bit, almost gets into Hogue. Oh, and everybody tries to check up. The 126 doesn't quite see through the 11. So he gets into the back of him. The 11 Lasowski saves it. The 126 tries to save it again, overcorrects, goes up into the 69 car. That's not very nice. And it looks like the 33 Skull car gets on by. That's Robin Stevens.
I don't know how the rest of that field made it through that.
Yeah, that could have been, there's Jared Bollier in the 97. The 62 got a piece of it, it looks like. So there's some calamity. I mean, like you said, that was big, but I don't think it was the big one.
I mean, to get sideways when two cars are going around in front of that big of a pack, just to get her sideways and avoid a lot of damage is very well done. I mean, the 62 slid through there so fast and only just got clipped at the end. You see the blue car come in late. I don't think he lifted. He said, "It's still green, boys. I'm still going." And if he didn't make any contact with anybody, the amount of positions he made up there, sliding through the center of that, was incredible.
Yeah, you can see it one more time again. We'll rejoin the live shot here as the lights are off on the iRacing pace car. And, man, that was big. Could have been bigger. Could have been a little bit smaller, but these guys are they know we're getting down to it. Maybe a pit stop, maybe 2 left in this one. Looks like the top 3 stayed out, top 5 stayed out. So Jeff Merck, Matthew Baker, Cody Neagles up front, Kevin West, Jeremy James are the top 5. Everybody from 6th on back, Wes Hogue, Alec Carron, one of the Vidane Racing originals. Haven't talked about the 81 car all night long. How about it for that old Mountain Dew scheme there? He's in 7th. Taylor Zasowski up here. TJ Floyd, he ran back in the day. Kyle Vigen up here. Michael Ziegler as well. And everybody up in the top 22, 25 cars just came down to top off. So that's going to – you still got 1 more stop, 2 more stops. But if you put fuel in it now, it's less fuel you have to put in later on. And every millisecond counts when you're down on pit road.
Correct, and the 6 went with those 24 laps earlier, and I'm sure that's in the back of some people's minds. How tight was he on fuel? Did he have another 5 or 6 laps left in him? It's the only person that can answer that question is the 6, who started off on the bottom in the 2nd row there. Great restart by the top 4. They're going to get single file really quickly and just try and get away from that pack like they were doing earlier. You see the 01 stuck out on the outside right now. He's going to find himself a hole right in front of Hogan. They're going to make their way single file. Top 5 quickly single file again and just trying to get themselves sorted out to make that breakaway pack.
Indeed they are, and the 6 car getting a big push now from Kevin West. He might try and take it on the outside. Well, nope. Kevin West is going to try and take it on the outside himself. He's going to try and tuck into the tire tracks of the number 60 of Merck. Merck's going to jump back down on the bottom side. I thought Hogue was going to try and tuck in behind the 01, but he's going to open the door up down on the bottom side. Now that they're hooked up, they're going to shoot up onto the outside. Don't look now. Here comes their teammate, the 11 of Lasowski. Those 3 hooked up on the top side may very well be a danger to everybody else in the field. You can see the 11 getting up into the outside wall just a little bit, slowed down the momentum, but he's going to try and get back up to his teammates in the 01 and the 38.
Absolutely, and they've been working that outside line really well. Once the 11 gets himself back into a rhythm there, like you said, he slid up and just touched the outside wall. Barely touched it, but just enough to knock that momentum off. But the 6 jumping up in front, or was that the 60 jumping up in front, just trying to take that position. He ended up just using it as a slingshot up and around the 5 into the lead and make sure he holds off. He's trying to hold both of those lanes off. That can be dangerous late in the race. Some guys won't necessarily give you that extra inch to be able to make that extra block. So it's all cool and dandy right now, but late in the race that might not work, but he's doing a great job controlling both lanes right now.
Indeed he is. Speaking of great jobs, got to give a shout out to the 18 car, Kyle Vigen. I'm gonna get yelled at in the chat. Kyle V is doing a great job in this 18 car, this Havoline car. Got some fans over in the YouTube chat, so got to give him an update. Running just outside the top 10, P12 right now, on the same pit strategy as everybody else, and the car looks clean. The paint scheme looks clean as well. So the 18 holding on to it. Garland Meadows was making his way up through the pack there, but it looks like he's going to tuck in to the draft of the second pack. Car still looks like it's in one piece, and he's on the same strategy as everybody else too. So 25 cars on the lead lap and 30 laps to go. Still got a couple of pit stops we got to make here, Ashton, as the sun sets here at Daytona International Speedway. And man, I got to tell you, the sunset, I even joked about it before we came on the air. The sunset here in the iRacing Daytona, very, very pretty. Look at that. Bright orange and purples and blues and stuff like that. I had the pleasure to work at Daytona International Speedway at the flat track just outside turn number 2 this past December for Kart Week. Got to work through the sunset, even had the GoPro set up and got a time lapse. You can actually get that over on the VidaneTV YouTube page. Hit the subscribe button and then hit the shorts button, and you'll be able to see that time lapse video. Very cool to be able to kind of work with the sunset going down in the background, and then that fog you mentioned earlier on in the Daytona 24 hours, put them under caution for 6 hours. With that fog at Daytona International Speedway. Same thing happened to us at Kart Week. We ended up having to call it early on night number 1 at 6 or 7 o'clock just because of the fog rolling in. So it's definitely something to behold. It's not quite something we have to deal with iRacing just yet, but we've got racing, rain, we've got fog, we've got all sorts of different stuff, but it looks clear and ready to rip here, at least in tonight's version of the weather.
Yeah, in tonight's version, I mean, we've seen that iRacing has done a great job implementing so many of the weather features in iRacing to make it as realistic as possible. So it's only a matter of time. I would say it's only a matter of time before we start seeing the fog, and especially with the endurance races that you see iRacing putting on. You can go, you know, if you're an iRacer, if you've ever thought about getting into iRacing, you can essentially run any big event that you see in the real world. iRacing has done a great job recreating it, essentially. So usually a week before that event in the real world happens, iRacing goes and puts on an event very similar to it, whether it be the Roar, whether it be the Daytona 500, whether it be the Chili Bowl. iRacing does a great job connecting all of those things together with the real world, just like we're doing here, Paul, through all the social medias and the broadcasting. We do our best to connect the real world and bridge the gap between the real world and the virtual world of racing.
100%. You can see now the 99 car going to come down pit road over on the right-hand side of your screen. I know my left and right, I promise. The Rusty's car trying to make a little magic happen in that 49, 49 car. We'll call him Lightning Floyd. TJ Floyd in the 49 car up into the top 5, right in behind that number 11. You can see the Mountain Dew ride is up there as well. The 81 we were talking about earlier of Alec Karen. So kind of a who's who in the Super Speedway Series world. And the top 3 all came down pit road 20 laps ago. So remember, same strategy for that 6 car under that last caution flag. We didn't quite know exactly how long it was going to stay out, and we ended up getting that caution. So tried to gamble once again. We'll see if it pays off, but he's got a handful of drivers out there. The 5 of Matthew Baker is out there, as well as Jeff Merck on the same strategy. So Merck up in front for right now. The 5 car trying to take a peek down on the bottom side, but he's going to tuck into the tire tracks and push up on that back bumper. You can see they kind of fan out here as the caution flag flies once again.
Caution flag is out, and Paul, there's 26 laps left. The 6 car went 24 laps earlier on in this race. So pit road is about to get absolutely crazy, because if the math plays out, and if you can save 2 laps of fuel, you could technically make it to the end after this caution flag, after these pit stops. So this is going to really throw a wrench in the strategy. If you were thinking, you know, I want to pit with 15 to go to make sure I've got enough for a green-white checkered, that throws everything, that throws a wrench to that. You're going to come down pit road now, and you're going to have to try and play the conserve fuel game with these cars. Now, they have been in a pack. They've been drafting really well, so I think it's doable. Again, I think the only guy that really has any kind of confidence and know-how of that answer would be the 6 car, who already pushed the limits early on in this race.
Yeah, seeing a handful of drivers already down on pit road there on the right side of your screen before they come down behind the pace car. Looks like Garland Meadows down on pit road, had himself an extended pit stop, may have been a part of that caution, but for one reason or another, the replay button doesn't want to do what it's supposed to, because, you know, live TV, that's how it gets down. But you're exactly right. This is going to take a lot of the guessing out of the fuel. We did see, though, a lot of drivers did come down. They kind of grabbed that first pit stop as soon as the pit road opened up. Then they came down to top off. Do you top off here? Do you stay out? Because you have to keep in mind there's also a possibility for a handful of green-white checkered finishes here.
If I'm behind the wheel, I'm looking at track position at this point. So if you're in the top 10, you don't want to come back down pit road and top up that fuel. You got to hope that you can save enough in the front pack that you're getting somebody behind you pushing and you got somebody in front taking most of the air off the nose of that car. Now, if you're outside the top 10 and you need to take that gamble, I think it might be worth it. You come down, you hope that you get, 1 or 2 cautions, make these guys sweat it out, make these guys worry about possibly running out of fuel, and then you're safe to go to the end. And you don't have to save. You can just push it as far as you possibly can. But a lot of guys coming down pit road. I think you take your last set of tires if you're in the top 10, and hope you hold position. And if you're outside the top 10, maybe you gamble and don't take tires. Try and get track position. Hope for another yellow. So many different options. It all depends how comfortable you are, and I honestly think if you're the 6, the 11, even Hogue, Bliss, who was up there for a little bit, any of those guys, they know what fresh rubber and how much of an advantage it is. Maybe they take the tires and they're not overly concerned about track position.
Yeah, 100%. You can see the race off pit road, everybody coming on down. Handful of different strategies, couple of 2-tire stops, couple of no-tire stops, couple of 4-tire stops as well here. And just as we get back up front, Jeff Merck, you made mention, first car off pit road. And if we look at the box time, it looks like he might have... I don't know if the 60 stopped.
There was 2 cars that I believe that stayed out. I believe one of them was the 62. The 62, I believe, was a few laps down. Or might have been a lap down, so he stayed out. But
and then
I believe everybody else came down pit road.
There it goes.
I could be wrong.
Nope, it reset itself. Yes, everybody did come down. Timing and scoring, doing its timing and scoring things. It's we've had a couple of updates with a few programs we use here at VidaneTV, and every once in a while they don't agree with each other. So that's where the issues come in, and we don't even really want to call them issues, but it's little happy little hiccups in the live TV world.
It's keeping us on our toes.
There we go. That's a good political way to put it. But you can see a couple of drivers going to try and take that wave around, get one of the laps back, and we should get the one to go this time by. Lights should go out on that iRacing pace car. We'll get them all lined up 2 by 2 all the way through once again here. And this could be the final restart. But in many cases, and as much as I hate to use the term, we've seen it happen in real racing. We've seen it happen in sim racing all the time. And we've seen it happen time and time again here on VidaneTV. Cautions do, in fact, breed cautions. So that's going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye on here with just a few laps to go.
It has been a great night in that sense. Generally, we've been getting a stint of, 10 to 15 laps in between cautions, whether that just be the tire wear. After a run of 15 to 20 laps-ish, the tires just go away. Or if guys start thinking that, it's time to start making moves. The guys at the back, you never count them out. Not on a super speedway, and some of these guys are just seeing that advantage and maybe sticking the nose in a little earlier than we expect. But they're going to come to green with about 23, 22 laps to go. Technically, they can all make it to the end in the draft. I predict there's going to be at least one more caution. If anybody saved tires on pit road, they could really have the upper hand if that's the case. But right now, they're making their way into 3 and 4, coming through that high banking. They're tightening the belts. They're tightening the gloves. They're putting the visor down, and they're getting ready to go green again. With only 23 laps to go, it's going to be a dash to the end.
Very surprised to see that nobody came down under that last time by to top off, but we will, that's why I'm up here screaming into the microphone, pushing these buttons and making sure we have timing and scoring, which in fact we do. How about that? Pace car going to duck down to the safety of pit road 1. Mo again going to turn these drivers loose 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 all the way through. They're going to look up at Barney in the flag stand. He's going to wave that fleet green flag and let these drivers know that it's time to go. Is this the final restart here at Daytona? We shall see.
5 immediately gets back down to the bottom behind the leader. Being able to catch that draft that quickly, like I said, is about saving fuel at this point here. You need to save about 2 laps of fuel if our math is correct. Now, they did 24 laps earlier, at least the 6 did 24 laps earlier with the help of that draft. So they should be able to make it as long as they stay in a tight group. That'll make those last 5 laps very interesting and wide open. You see the 97... Earlier on, the 97 was kind of one of those ones going through the grass. Now he's up there and contending for the lead, sitting up in 4th place, right side by side with the TikTok 01 machine. They were nearly touching there as they came through the tri-oval, but gave each other a little bit of room, and hopefully, the 97 tried to find a hole there behind the 01. That hole closed very quickly. He had to dart back up the racetrack. He's going to be stuck on the outside and get shuffled back. Freight train on the bottom line.
The Batman, the 04 car, Mark, man, first time we've talked about him all night. He's up in the mix as well. And Jarrett Bolliard in the 97 car going to tuck into his tire tracks. He's going to try and get hooked up with the 01 car as well. But Jarrett Bolliard, that is vintage 97 that we're seeing right now. He kept on in the back, kind of stayed up in touch with the lead pack, stayed in the draft, made sure that car was in one piece here for the final run, and that strategy is what earned him one of those championship belts back in the day a handful of years ago. Jarrett Bollier doing everything he can to try and get up towards the front, trying to get himself a W here in the 20th anniversary Vidane Racing race here. 20 laps on the clock. He's got a little bit of time to do it, but not a whole heck of a lot.
No, and I think it's about finding your partner at this point, right? With 20 laps to go, now's the time that you start getting into your group chats, into your team chats, talking to your spotter, trying to find out where everybody is at, and if he's got a teammate in the vicinity, or if he has to find himself a new friend, or, it might be a case, there's still 20 laps to go. Your teammate's in that second pack. It might be time to drop back and go and find him. As we look further on back, we made mention of it earlier. The guys that we were talking about at the front of the pack are kind of mired back about halfway through this. They're at the tail end and in the mid pack of that second big pack of cars. But if you look at this, earlier on, these were all the guys that were up at the front, the 8, the 128 or 126, the 38, the 11, the 6. Those were all our front pack. Not 5-10 laps ago. So make sure you keep an eye on those guys, because they're if they get hooked up and lined up together, you can see the slingshot coming on the 221, how quick they're approaching him. When they get lined up, they get really fast in that draft.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you saw there. The 8 car was leading that pack. He probably got up to about 215, 216, and just wasn't able to keep that car down on the bottom side. But you saw Wes Hogue was able to take that, and you said it, slingshot himself basically up to that lead pack. So rather than having the 2 separate packs, we now have one great big long pack, and this is going to make for some fantastic racing here with the final 17 laps to go. We've already got a high side with the 01 and the 81. They're trying to make it happen. This right now is going to turn into 3-wide racing, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely, especially that high line. You see the little push that the 81 gave the 01 on that top side, really shot him up from about the 4th or 5th position all the way almost up into 3rd with ease, and then the 81 ducked off of his bumper. I'm kind of surprised that there's not more of a second lane forming. Maybe it's still a little too early. These guys know better than I do. This is why we're up making the calls and not driving the race cars, but that outside line was forming up there very well and kind of just broke away a little bit, but it's still there. It's still a possibility. You see more and more guys are kind of toying with the idea of looking. I don't know whether it's just trying to keep that draft. The 81 got a slingshot down around the bottom of the 01 as we go on board with the 04 of Mark Mann. He's one that, again, we didn't talk about him much, but the strategy is paying off. He kind of hung himself around the 8th to 9th position, and now he's up in the top 5, possibly fighting for a podium on the bottom side there. As long as he doesn't get freight trained on the top side, he should be able to make some gains on the bottom.
65 laps down, 15 laps to go here at the Vidane 200, the 20th anniversary here of the Vidane Racing Super Speedway Series. Crazy to think we've been doing this sim racing deal for 20-plus years. Got to thank everybody for tuning in here. We're live all over the internet. We're live all over social media, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all that good stuff. Be sure to give us the like, the subscribe, the shares. Let your friends and family know that you're watching a little bit of iRacing action here on a Tuesday night. We've got iRacing action just like this all week long. Tomorrow night, modifieds at Thompson for the NEP Series All-Star race. Thursday night, NEP Series right back here at Daytona, but on the road course with the Super Trucks. Going to be a whole lot of fun. We're back here next Tuesday night with the Liberty Racing Series race as well as the Oil Boys Championship. That's going to be a lot of fun. Late model racing as well as super speedway racing here on VidaneTV 1 and 2. Big move there for Wes Hogue in the 38. Going to slide on down to the bottom side of the racetrack. He's now going to hook up with Jarrett Bolliard in the 97 car. Those guys have worked great together in the past. You can see the 04 of Mark Mann up here, the 81 of Alec Heron, the 01 stuck on the high side. Trailer Park 2 trying to find some friends to see if he can get that mullet machine up towards the front.
Yeah, and he's been working that top side for quite a few laps now. The luck that he has is the side draft. So he's been getting down on those on the front and the back straightaway and being able to pull that side draft off the rear quarter panels of these cars. They're big, wide cars. They got a spoiler to them, so he's able to use that side draft. You'll see he'll come down a little. Wes knew what he was going to do. He says, I'm not going to give you that advantage. I'm going to get back to the 04. I'm going to try and push him past and be able to form that top line, the 04 right to the outside in front of the 01. Hogue goes with him. That's exactly what I was expecting. I'm expecting these big moves to the outside to start forming. You see Hogue right back down to the bottom behind the 04 as that slingshot really didn't work out in his favor that time by, but he would have just learned something there, and there's still 14 laps to go, so lots of time to get back to that front group. But that front group has also stayed in a single file line, and they're trying to break away from the moves happening behind them.
And at these big super speedway tracks, you don't want to break away too much because we saw it happen just a few laps ago, and we saw it happen just there. That second pack was able to sniff that draft out and catch that first draft. Now I think you're going to start to see that top side materialize just a little bit because now you've got that front pack just a little bit bigger. They picked up a couple of cars, and everybody else is thinking, you know what, too early. Don't want to make the move just yet. Got to make mention, speaking of that, Brian Bliss was up in the top 5, and the 8 car dropped all the way back. You can see he's just kind of biding his time right now. He's back here. He's still got the lead draft, but he's got a little bit of maneuvering room. He feels there's a disturbance in the force. And that's one of the reasons Brian Bliss is really good at these super speedway races. He feels that there's still a hornet's nest up front. He's expecting these guys up here in the top 10, 15 to have that big one that you and I were talking about earlier on.
Absolutely, and now's the time you're going to see it. You know, you got 12 to go. You saw it earlier, the big run that the 5 got, and right away the leader's got to jump down and block that line. If he misses blocking that line by a hundredth of a second, a thousandth of a second, that could just ruin the whole field. And I think that's what you see a lot of the guys hanging out just outside of this pack. That's what they're looking at. You made mention of it. They see something progressing in front of them. It might not. I mean, they might be seeing something and it just doesn't progress. But 9 times out of 10 at a super speedway, there's a big one, and I don't think we've seen it yet. So I think they're in the same mindset that I would be in. Kind of hang back and see what things progress as first.
And it's one of those deals. I was talking to Garland Meadows earlier on. He was having some issues with the car. He's actually watching from the garage area, 52 car, having some issues here tonight. But I was talking to him earlier on about the different styles of super speedway racing, and you're seeing it progress. You're seeing the change progress throughout this race. Earlier on, everybody was kind of stretched out. We mentioned there was a lot of give. There was a lot of room all the way around each other. Now you're 10 to 20 laps to go. You're watching these guys hook up 2-3 cars, pull up to that first pack, drop on back, pull up to the front pack. That's not random. They're doing that on purpose, and they're trying to figure out just how long it's going to take for 2 or 3 cars to make that room, make that move up on the high side. Ooh, car up to the outside wall. They gather it back up. It looks like it was the Yeti machine. We stay clean, we stay green, but you can see it's already getting to the point where these guys are trying to hook up with each other, trying to make that high side work. You can see the 38 car up top. He's hungry. He owns the league, Wes Hogue does, in that 38 car. He got himself a win this season, was very excited about it. Oh, trouble for the 75 car, I believe. And he is off to the outside, inside wall. That was the 81. Nope, just kidding. But we do stay green with 9 laps to go that time at the stripe.
I believe that was a lap car, Paul. I did see that car coming up the backstretch. He was right down on the apron trying to stay out of the way of everybody. Yellow is out with 9 to go. This is going to be a very interesting last dash of about probably 6 or 7 laps. But I believe that was a lap car that was just trying to hold his own on the bottom. No front end on that car. I think it was just a struggle to come off that corner. He just got his hands all tangled up with a little bit of air maneuvering off of his back end with that big of a pack. I believe is all that happened there. Sent the lap car down onto the infield. I'm not sure if that's what the yellow was for, or if it was just a debris yellow. But nonetheless, 9 to go. I think all these guys have used their tires up. I think they thought that last one was going to be the last pit stop. I would assume at this point now they are good on fuel. If not, you're going to see a lot of guys running down on the flat or shutting the car off, one of the two, and saving as much as they possibly can. Personally, if I'm in the top 5, Paul, I'm not coming down pit road. I'm holding my position.
Oh, absolutely. We're riding on board right now with the number 60 car of Jeff Merck. You can hear he's still got that thing in 4th gear. He's almost trying to draft off of the pace car there, so we'll see what goes down. A little same deal with the onboard of Jarrett Bolliard. We'll see if we can talk to the driver on the 97 car, just in case. We're going to wait until they get past the entrance of pit road, because we never want to jack up anybody's pit road strategy, but you can see it may very well be a telltale sign. He's drifting all the way back, pushing that clutch in, letting the car drift, and you can see over on the left-hand side that great big tachometer down there, right around 2,000 RPM, so he's trying to save as much fuel as he possibly can.
Yeah, he's got that thing dropped and trying to keep the RPMs as low as possible without stalling the car out. So, surprised he's up on the banking. Usually, when you're trying to conserve, if you're not going to pit, you're gonna try and pull that. He's not. I don't think he's going to pit if he's going up to the top side there, or if that was just to avoid any kind of contact. But generally, you're trying to keep that tank as flat as possible. Is it a strategy play here? This is
He's
interesting.
coming down. Wow.
He is going to come down pit road. So that right there throws me a curveball, that's for sure. That's not what I predicted at all. I feel like this is just going to be a very quick splash and go. Right into the pit stall perfectly. He's going to change right side tire. So he had a set of tires left, Paul. That could be a big factor here. We did see some guys stay out. They're going to be on at least 10 to 15 lap old tires. We went back to green with 22 or 23 to go. So this is going to make things even more interesting on the strategy side of things. If we get a green-white checkered, those guys that stayed out might be tight on fuel. It might be the consensus here, but 7 laps to go. Probably coming to green around 5 to 6 laps to go. It's going to be a dash to the end, and there's not going to be any giving now. It's all going to be take.
Yeah, Jarrett Bolliard going to come off pit road. Looks like P15. Top 7 stayed out. 17 laps since they came down. Alec Carrick, Wes Hogue, Cody Niegels, Taylor Lasowski, Robert DuPont, Robin Steven, Matt Yost, and those are the guys that stayed out. Kevin West, the first driver off pit road, 2 tires. Looks like 2 tires for Brian Bliss there in P9. Everybody else in behind 10th got 4 tires. TJ Floyd, Jeff Merck, Matthew Baker, Joe Thompson, Rick Seabrins. Great to see Rick do good. He's one of the Vidane Racing guys, as well as the Liberty Racing Series driver as well. He's in P14th, and we're on board with the 15th place driver here. Looks like the lights are still on the iRacing pace car. So indeed they are. See if we can't maybe dial up the champ in the 97 car. Hey, Jared, it's Paul up in the booth. You got a copy, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man, good. Yeah, we saw when that caution flag came out, you were kind of clutching it down on the bottom side. We thought you were going to kind of stay out and do one strategy, but you came down, filled the tank up, and 4 tires. Changed your strategy on us. What have you got for these final 5-6 laps?
Just kind of preparing for both situations. I didn't take the first set of tires until lap 45, so I stayed out in the last caution, and I had 10 lap older tires than everybody else, so I was either just going to save them and push the last 4 laps or come down and take it and take the last set, and I was kind of torn, but I just decided to hit and take that last set. I'd rather be on offense than defense.
100%, and a great spot to do it in. A handful of drivers still out there on old tires, so we'll let you get back to work. We'll see you at the end of this thing.
Sounds good. Talk to you later.
Former Vidane Racing Super Speedway champ there in the 97. That's going to be Jarrett Bolliard. And you called it, Eric Ashton. Stayed out, saved himself a set of tires just in case we needed it for a quick little dash at the end.
Yeah, and he's got the right mindset there. He pitted knowing that there could be two situations here. We could attempt to go back green. Guys are going to be very aggressive on this restart. It could cause the big one. And he could be in the catbird seat with fresh tires and a full tank of gas. Or they could go green to the end. It could be a great race, and he just got mired back in traffic, and he might not be able to make up all those positions. Either way, I'm surprised they didn't build this kind of racetrack in Vegas, because there's a lot more risk-taking and betting at this racetrack than you see at the Vegas Motor Speedway. But there's always a lot more gambles to be taken when it comes to Daytona.
A trophy is on the line. $50 is on the line. And oh, by the way, race number 4 points for the Liberty Racing League Series is on the line. How about that for a Ready to Rumble throwback? Pretty cool. These guys are all lined up 2 by 2. Taking a look at timing and scoring. 26 drivers still on the lead lap. That tells me there's 26 guys that could potentially win this race. Pace car is off for what could be the final restart. Wes Hogue, Alec Karen up on the front side. Alec Karen choosing the bottom side, and he's going to go green flag, green flag, green flag.
Whole bunch of strategy from that inside line. The 11 took off. I'm going to say he laid back and let Hogue get back into that inside line position. They're 3 wide for 4th and 5th. They're shuffling around. They're finding their partners. They are green flag, Paul, and it is aggressive, just like I thought it was going to be. Don't look now on the top side. The 11 and the 38 have now reconnected. The 38 leaves the 11, goes back down to the bottom. I don't know if that's just a lane protection or if that was simply just him trying to strategize with somebody new. Another one to look for is the 6 has made his way back into the front and into contention here, as they're going to look to 3 wide for second place coming by the line.
Beating and banging as only these 1988, 1987 cars can do. 3 wide for the lead. The trailer park dude all the way up on top makes it work, makes it stick. He's going to slide himself into second place, all behind the leader of Rowdy Wesley Hogue in that 38 car coming on down the back straightaway. Wes Hogue doing everything he can, everything he's learned over the past 20 years in these super speedway races. Has not won a championship belt, wants one, is hungry. The 5 car up to the outside wall, still green this time by side for the league. Rowdy Wesley Hogue down to the bottom, wrecking in the back. Jarrett Bolliard down off the pace. The 128 car involved.
Yeah, I believe that all started with the 5 getting up into the wall. A bunch of damage to that 128 car. It was just one of those domino effects, Paul, with the 5 up into the wall. He was just trying to keep it nice and clean as they went 3 wide into that corner. It was it all started up front there with the aggression, everybody trying to find their partners and find the best track position they possibly can. A great battle up front here. The 81 slides up the track. The 5 nowhere to really go. He taps the wall a couple times. Everything looks clean here, but he's off the pace. The 128 checks up. Nobody else checks up behind him. Nowhere for anybody to go. In the middle of the pack, you see Bollier down on the bottom. The 8, a lot of damage to a lot of those race cars. That was the big one. A lot of guys getting some damage in that one. A lot of guys that were still in contention of possibly winning this one. With some damage. Now, we did make mention earlier on that there is a fast repair, and if a lot of these guys hadn't used it yet, they're still on the lead lap. They still have a high possible chance of coming out on top of this one, but late in the race, that's a tough one.
100%. Everybody joining back up with the pace car. I don't believe, well, this is going to be tough. We're going to get at least 2 laps. We're going to get at least a lap or 2 here under caution. Handful of Hogue came down 21 laps ago. He's in second. The 6 car in 4th came down 21 laps ago. You can see we're we're dancing with the line. It looks like everybody going to stay out at this point. With 2 laps to go, you really have to run what you brung at this point. Kevin West is good on fuel. He came down, he topped off, and it looks like we're going to get at least another lap here under caution. So they're going to be able to save a little bit, but they're going to get pretty close when it comes down to it. The 38 and the 6, as well as Alec Karen, the 81 car, back in P6, and Matt Yost in the 70 car, P9. Those guys are going to be tight on fuel with this green-white checkered restart.
With how hard they were running on that last restart, I'm going to say that they were thinking that it was it, that was the last restart, and that they were just going to go for it. Whatever they had left in the tank is what they were going to use. Now they've got to reverse that thought. Now they've got to save during this caution as much as possible, and then turn themselves back into doing the same thing, going with, like you said, run what you brung, and hopefully it's enough to make it to the end. I don't see anybody down on the apron shutting the cars off or anything like that. So that tells me that everybody's kind of okay on fuel, or believes they're okay on fuel. But nothing is for sure with the amount of cars that are still left on the lead lap. There's going to still be a lot of aggression. You see the 11 dropped way back on that start when we saw him help Wes Hogue get to the front. I don't know if that little tap with the wall really caused more damage than we thought, but I did see him get up on the 3 wide and touch the wall and drop right back, or if it was just a momentum loss that got him all the way back there.
Strategies all over the place. It seems like we had an extra lap under caution, and these guys are going to be talking to each other under their voice chat with their teammates, trying to figure out just what the heck they're going to do with the final closing laps here. Live all over the place. We appreciate everybody tuning in and sticking with us late here tonight as we get into overtime, the 20th anniversary of the Vidane Racing Super Speedways. As always, Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. and the Wingnut himself up in the broadcast booth. Ashton Riki with me here, and we should get the one to go that time by. Indeed, we do. We've talked about these guys being up top all night long. Kevin West going to take the bottom side down in the 01 car. Wes Hogue going to take the top in the 38. He came down 23 laps ago. That car's going to be on fumes here in the final couple of laps, as is the 6 of Cody Neagles right on his outside. So they're going to give it all, try and get themselves the extra $50 and the trophy that's on the line here tonight. And oh, by the way, the championship points that pays for race number 4 in the series. And if you get a W, that puts you into the playoffs, and that gives you an opportunity to win the championship belt this season. So a lot's on the line here this evening on a Tuesday night, and we're going to watch it all happen live here on VidaneTV, and you'll be able to check this one out as well as all of the other races on demand. There's over 650 live productions we've got over there on the YouTube page you can check out on demand, so be sure to do that. Smash that subscribe button as well, and lots of shorts and all sorts of content over there in the YouTube world. And I've got a question for you here as we get on into the late night hours here. Did Daytona have lights back in 1987?
No, they did not. The lights were installed in 1998. Is when the facility actually, and it's actually now the 3rd largest facility, outdoor facility with lights. I don't know if that's random facts that I know about Daytona, obviously. And then obviously the repaving a few years on back. I believe it was 2010 that they repaved it. But yeah, 87, no, they did not have lights. All the races were run during the day until 1998, which was when they had their first night race at Daytona.
Well, there you go, David from YouTube. What do you think of them persimmons? We looked it up so you didn't have to. Great to have the interaction here. Let us know who you think is going to win this thing in the final few laps. There's a bunch of folks tuned in all over social media, and we're getting ready to take the green flag once again. 01 down the bottom, 38 up top. Here we go, waiting for Barney, letting them know. Time to go. That was close.
Yeah. And it's still close. The mixing on back behind the field is just absolutely wild how crazy the movements are going on. But we've got a small pack that's broken out. It looks like a pack of 7 to start to really break away from the field. But again, we've seen it before. That first pack breaks away and that second pack gets organized. Then they come like a freight train But the bottom side right now, you see the 38 pushing the 01 way out to the front. Here comes the slingshot from the second row. Is it going to be the top side or the bottom side? He's going to have to make a choice. What do I protect? There's more cars on the top side, more cars on the bottom side. He stays to the 6 on the top side. Hogue on the bottom going for the lead. He's sideways. He saves it. He's below the 2 yellow lines. 3 wide going into
around.
one. I don't know how they... Oh, in the front of the pack, they're around. They're still straight. Hogue somehow made it through that, and they're still green on the final lap. The 5 is up front with the 60 hot on his tail, trying to get that pass, trying to get that momentum. You see him kind of slide back. Paul, they're coming into 3 and 4. It's going to be a drag race to the end.
Jeff Merck going around the outside in the number 60 car. Had enough momentum to try and get there, but here comes the number 4. Sebrin's trying to make a run from the 3rd position. Side by side for the lead. Going to be 3 wide when they get to the stripe. The 5 car down to the bottom side. Takes the checkered flag. Matthew Baker, $50 richer. And he is going to be leaving here with some bragging rights tonight from the Daytona International Speedway. Holy cow, Ashton, what a race.
What a great job by both of those guys at the front of the pack. The 5 on that last restart, if you remember, Paul, he got up into the wall and got shuffled back into the 8th or 9th position, gets the caution, works his way back up to the front. Baker, Merck in second, who had a great chance on the outside to try and steal that win away. He made the move at the right time, just not enough momentum. And then you called it, Paul, the 4 car of Rick. Sebring was coming out of nowhere. The head of steam he had coming off the corner, I really thought he was going to make that 3 wide to the end there. He did everything he possibly could. A great finish. We knew it was going to be a great finish. What a way to finish the 200-mile race. 80 laps, the 20th anniversary of VidaneTV. That right there is what it's all about.
Yeah, textbook super speedway racing at its finest. Absolutely proud to put the 20th anniversary of Vidane Racing on top of that one. Matthew Baker, Jeff Merck, and Rick Sebrin's going to be the podium finishers. We'll see if we can get a word in with those guys here momentarily. Jeremy James, where did he come from? He's going to finish P4, 6-car quick all evening long. Cody and Eagle's going to come home with a top 5. The 11 of Taylor Lasowski going to finish in 6th. Wes Hogue there in 7th. Mark Mann, Michael Ziegler, and Robin Stevens going to be the top 10 as they finished up. And it looks like we do have the 2nd place finisher lined up on pit road. We'll see if we can get hooked up with him. Or actually, we're going to send it down to the winner here down in Victory Lane as soon as we can figure out what the heck our stuff is doing here. Live TV, folks. It's how we get down. There's lots of different things. We're moving stuff around. We'll figure it out here. But a great race, all is well, and I believe you have finally caught up with our winner.
I have, and what a dash to the finish, Matthew. It was one of those things. You had a mirror full of race cars, and you held that bottom line, and you made it work. From your point of view, was there anything you would do different to maybe get yourself away from the pack a little sooner on that last restart?
There's not much I really could have done. The restart right before that, I had taken 4, got up to about 8th, and then the 81 car kind of fenced me, gave me some right toe damage, so I knew I was going to be hurting there, but coming through the trial, I saw 3 cars not lifting, and I knew it wasn't going to work because it hadn't been working the whole night, and stuck to the bottom line and made it work. I thought Wes had it saved there, and then I don't know what happened in the league. It looked like I don't know what. It looks like Kevin just spun it out by himself. That was crazy. I haven't seen that happen in this car in a while. So I was able to tuck to the bottom, and then going into 3. I thought Merck definitely had it because my car was off the pace. He was able to get around me on the outside, but I was able to pull the side draft back and get the win.
Side draft probably wasn't one of those things talked about in '87 when these cars used to be ran on this major track, but certainly a factor here today. You were a factor all race long. Different strategies, cautions landing at times. That strategies were really gonna change things up. What strategy did you have coming in, and what did you have once the race started? How did it change?
I'll be honest, I don't do a great job reading the schedule because I thought it was going to be the 08 Daytona, but we got lucky with it being 2011 Daytona. I haven't really ran. This is my first time racing this car at this track, so just wanted to stick to the bottom. Got a few pointers before I went out there, and was able to wrap the bottom well. I got fenced early in the race, got some toe damage on my own doing, but we're able to rebound. And we talked. Cody, Merck, and I talked about when we were taking tires, and we just thought lap 55 was too early. And it almost played out for Cody, but we took those tires and got back up to the front.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, and a big win on an anniversary day, and Vidane 200 20th anniversary. It's a big race for us up here in the booth, and it's a big race for you. Big win for you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The thing is I've been racing probably different series on Vidane all through about my 5-6 years here iRacing. So it's really just shows how much it means to the sim community that VidaneTV sticks around, and 20 years is awesome. And I'm glad I can hold the honor of taking that 20-year anniversary win and getting a little bit of money thanks to the guys who threw into the pot. Got the good karma of throwing into the pot so I could just take home that money. But thanks to Merck and Cody for working well with me there. Coasting Thunder, MBG Motorsports, Baker & Son Construction. You guys for putting on the broadcast. Excited to go back and watch it. It was definitely a battle there. And thanks to Wes and everyone at Liberty Racing League that puts on the league.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And I look over your shoulder, and Jeff Merck is right over your shoulder here and ready to congratulate everybody. Jeff, you had one hell of a run coming to the end there, and we were standing up in the booth. We really thought you were going to get it done. Did you go too early, or did you wait a little too long?
I think if I had it to do over again, I would talk to the motor department over there at NBG and figure out why the boss had 10 more horsepower and can just pull away from it going down the front straightaway. But I guess being the owner of NBG has its perks, So he got the good spark plugs, and I got the old spark plugs out of his car. So that's why I finished second. But no, if I had it to do over again, I think I would have tried to get to his inside going down the back straightaway, but me and Baker raced together a lot, and I knew he was looking out his mirror going down the back straightaway, and he was going to try to block it. And I didn't want to end up wrecking both of us trying to get the win. I'd really like to got that trophy, but if I didn't get it, I'm glad my buddy Baker's getting it. So, but I was I was a half a car short. And for my second race here, I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a long race, 200 miles, 80 laps, a lot of strategy plays, a car that's not exactly easy to handle at all times. So nonetheless, it's a great race. Who helps you get to the virtual world? Oh
yeah, my wife inside helps me a lot. She owns the car I'm sitting in. Baker owns the car on the racetrack. But yeah, my loving wife inside. She's the one. She's the motor that drives this operation. My buddy Baker, my buddy Cody. You guys up in the booth, Liberty. All the guys that work on these cars back at the shop.
Fantastic. And again, congratulations. Even though it's not a win, it's still a great race. It was a lot of fun to watch you guys on the anniversary race. And hopefully we'll get these cars back out to a short track around here soon somewhere and get these cars rolling again.
Yeah, absolutely. Look forward to it.
All right. And I think it's only fitting that we send this one over to Paul. Paul, you've caught up with Wes, and this is going to be an interview to remember.
Well, Rowdy, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I've had to change into about 3 different drawers this race. Pretty sure there's piss on my rig right now. I'm saving it in like lap whatever that was when I was completely hanging her sideways 90 degrees. But I'll tell you what, I didn't want to do that again. Thank God everybody missed me. The one time they didn't arc a brake this race was the one time I'm glad they didn't. But man, what a race, Paul. 20 years of doing this, 20 years of, putting on these races, and nothing's so much has changed, but so much has stayed the same. And tonight was kind of a testament to that. This is a competitive league, man. We have some really, really good guys. There's different skill levels, but there's some really, really good drivers in here. We have a lot of fun. We've built a good rapport with each other, especially those who have been here, 3-4 seasons as of late. And this really has been a blast. Tonight was no different. My race was up was up and down. Literally had the strategy going, had everything going. I door bumped my teammate coming out of the tri-oval there in the end. Kind of screwed myself. I feel like if possibly, they wreck and I'm able to miss that, maybe I can give Jeff and Matt a run for their money with them and Rick Seabrands there. But all for naught. Still came home with a 7th place finish. But at the end of the day, it was all about having fun. Our community raised $50 during the gridding there, during the drivers meeting, which was really cool. There was no prize money going into this race, but we had some guys throw in, so that's awesome. Matt Baker also gets the trophy, but also he's going to get $50 hairs sent to him after we're done here tonight immediately. And yeah, Paul, hopefully this was a good show for y'all.
Yeah, hell of a run. Really a staple of what super speedway racing is. All the different strategies gets into it, and to do it with a 40-plus car field is pretty cool. And we'll give you another opportunity here. We're going to be back right here on VidaneTV next Tuesday night. You and I talked about it earlier on. I'm going to be down in Jacksonville next week, so why not? When in Rome, right?
Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting hearing the broadcast from my spare room while I'm sitting here racing, watching it on my phone. So that's going to be fun. And, hey, next week's my favorite car track combo. We're running Mazdas at Homestead. No better place for you and I to share some beers side by side while you're calling it and I'm racing it in one of the biggest poop shows that we have on the schedule that ends up being nothing but entertainment for those in the cockpit as well as on their couch watching the stream on VidaneTV.
And that's what it's all about. Lots of racing coming up this week as well. We've got modifieds at Thompson tomorrow night with the NEP All-Star Race, as well as the Super Trucks coming right back here to the Daytona Road Course on Thursday. That's going to be a points race for those NEP guys, and you heard it from Wes himself. Mazdas at Homestead. Ashton, you got anything going on next Tuesday?
I don't believe I do. I was just looking at my calendar after you said Mazdas, and I think I'm all in for that one. That's going to be a fun night.
100%. They always say, the Mazdas aren't realistic, and there they were this year running them, what was it, Martinsville, I think it was? But in any sense, the 5-car of Matthew Baker riding off into that beautiful Daytona sunset, and that's going to do it here for us at VidaneTV. We will catch you on the flip side, and when we do,
we'll do it live.
There you go.